It would, but it's not gonna change too much of things.
All right.
All in all, um, I'm gonna start you guys off at the banks of Lake Lugia. A couple of days have passed. I'm gonna say,
Oh,
gonna
then
say,
in that case, Romulus would have definitely had Anna put to bed. Um, just dealing with all his stuff and all stuff in the place. If would Romulus know that Agron is also affected with madness? Then
yeah. After
yeah.
the fight you guys had with the White Bone Demon, uh, both Anon, Agron, and um, Romilius, to a lesser degree, have gained a sense of madness. Uh, though this just made Romilius more tipsy in the sense of like you gained a sort of dizziness for a bit. It definitely went away faster than it you do. It went away faster to your pleasure. But as far as Anon and Agron were concerned, they were not the same.
Yeah, Romulus
Um,
was just he was just high as a kite.
Not high so much as just dizzy, for sure. Same difference. Overall point is that um, when you guys spent the latter day getting to the edge of Lake Lugia, it was mostly just a silent endeavor. Um, I wouldn't say that you guys wouldn't have talked to each other, but the reason why it was kept silent for the most part was because it really was a heavy. It hit everyone differently, and it was just a hard subject to just talk about. So that's why I said that you guys have a silent voyage until you guys get to the edge of Lake Lugia.
Yeah, Romulus should just take care of everybody at this point. Like just micromanaging everybody. Um, uh, um, and I guess Anna just hunkering down with his sword and his veil.
Yep.
Yeah. And I guess Romulus definitely took the jar away from Agron. Seeing Agron is Romulus will have the jar placed in a safe place in the ship. Probably just in the safest place in the ship that he knows of, or that any of his echoes know of. Probably Redbeard will know the best place in the ship to store an item.
Um,
Um,
Probably no better than you, considering that this is still like a new ship, so not every nook and cranny is known to you. However, any place that Romilius would hide it will be more likely unaccessible to anyone else considering his size.
yeah. All right. Then yeah, Romulus will do that, um, and Romulus basically talk to himself or his echoes about the next course of action about going back to Asgard because they have Spear Soul, which is the whole reason for going down there. But he isn't sure if they should leave the village because they still to if they should leave. What's it called again? Not Kayutha. Is it Kayutha?
Yeah.
Kayutha. Yeah, Kayutha. If they should just leave Kayutha or not. But Romulus can't read. And Anna is gonna be much of use to talk to right now, and I guess all Romulus has right now is Tessa, Brim, and Ecstasy. And
If you talk to your echoes about like, so what's the question again?
um, if they should if they should head back to Asgard to help Shafir, or they should go straight towards Kayutha.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because um, Shafir's whole thing was to be sent to Asgard.
Yeah,
Aren't we? Wouldn't it be awkward to go to Asgard now? considering everything we've done, or everything we've implied.
Yeah, yeah, it would be a bit awkward. However, are they enemies right now? As long as they're not enemies, as long as they're allies, I guess. And I know that even if they are even if they are not sure on us, they we know that they respect Shafir.
Hmm. Well, can we just use not Remilius? Romeus would bring up. Can we just send someone else to do it? Like we know that Valcana, someone else. Valstrax is connected to the World Tree and that portal.
Oh, that would work. Hmm.
And as far as we're concerned, the other gods in our little group here aren't exactly associated with us. They can bring it there and then come right back.
Very well. I guess we have to trust them in that case because we do need to execute quickly. The conquest has given us a bit of a time limit that we are. I believe we're not skirting the edge of.
So, who do you want to send?
Is Velstrax still on the ship?
The Valstrax isn't on the ship.
Okay, Velstrax is on the ship. Okay. Then is what's the name on the ship? Artemis.
Yeah,
Okay. Ramirez, look out to Artemis. You're still aligned with Asgard, correct?
I'm not against them.
All right. And you're not well. You're not with us currently. So could you perhaps send? Could you perhaps do this for us?
What is this exactly?
Could you run Shafir Soul back to Asgard?
And Shafir is
A dragon, a highly respected dragon. She she used to lead Kayutha, and she she died in a fight against against some gods of Helheim, or lesser gods, I should say.
by any chance was Shafir a chromatic dragon?
Mm, Out of character, I believe she was a chromatic blue dragon, right?
Yeah, blue dragons are chromatic.
Yeah. Um. So Romulus, think about it. Actually, I don't think Romulus would know what chromatic is either. Uh, Chromatic? She was blue.
Ah, yeah, she was. I forget. More people born on Zofa don't know the difference. Just to reiterate the lore. So on Zofa, many people, if you just see dragons, there's not a difference between metallic and chromatic. It's just dragon because the metallic dragons live uh, on the moon, and no one would see a metallic dragon. Since you've been on Zofa, you have seen metallic dragons, and it's weird that they look like that, but you never heard of that term before.
All right. And so Romulus. So does she explain this to Romulus?
Yeah, for the most part, in less words than what I said. She just says like, you know, I see how you wouldn't know what they were, considering that Zophians don't know the difference.
All right. So Romulus nods. Just nods, and then he thinks. Where's Voltrex? Where's Valtrex? I can't remember the names. Where is he? Out of character. Where is he at right now? Or would they know?
You wouldn't know exactly. All you know is that she would spend a lot of times near the World Tree and flying around there. The first time you interacted with her was like a couple miles away from the World Tree. That was a special circumstance.
All right. So I guess in this case Artemis is the best bet then. Uh so Artemis thinks and looks over to Artemis and says, "All right, I don't think we even have nearly enough money to even to even get Ergonox to make her a new body, but I believe the Asgardians should know what to do in this case. Um, present it to them and tell it and say it just they should at least know what to do. Just present it to them and they could at least keep hold of it.
All right. If I do this, I don't know if I'll be back. I don't know when I'll come back.
That that is completely fine. Uh, this is a we go for any further. I never knew the context as to how we ended up fighting Shava.
We've got a story for you. She'd
All right.
say, yeah.
So she'll take
She'd
the
say, yeah.
soul and she'll be off, um, moving moving pretty darn fast towards the world tree. The only other god entity that's on your party is Glamiri.
All right. Who's gonna marry again? I can't remember. I can keep up with these names.
I think that random chick that started following us after me and Gabby did our performance.
Oh, her, the war one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For context of no Orion, oh where's Orion? He dipped after your conversation with Hekram, the centaur ghost, and Shava when you guys were in at Hidyar.
All right. So, all right, Jen, go ahead with the context, I guess.
So the context of fighting Shava was it kind of happened suddenly after Agron came back from their trip of being enraged. You guys were all kind of snapped into Helheim to fight Shava via for the power of Zapar.
Yeah, Support kind of forced us there. It's just scary they could do that, but the way it's scary they could do that.
And there's like, you're here now. It's like, what?
If you're talking about Zapar, he wasn't enraged.
Yeah,
He
Support was
was
actually kind of bored watching the whole thing.
he his whole deal was like he was the one who dragged you to Helheim to fight
Oh, whilst Agron in rage. So fun.
regarding what?
So fun story about that. You were in the fight between Agron and Mei Shi.
I won
Um
the fight. Nope.
It was a spar. It was like a spar. Remember the spar match between Agron and Mei Shi? Agron went. You were here for that, by the way. You were here for
The
that.
one on the ship?
Yeah, the
Yes,
one
I
yeah.
on the
was.
ship. Yeah, it was. That's what Agron was in rage. Um.
And
So
because of that, oh my, all right, all right.
Well,
yeah,
no,
that's
no,
why
no,
all this happened.
no, no, no.
That's what.
That hap- that that enrage didn't happen and cause you guys to go to Helheim. It was after that you were dragged to
Oh,
Helheim.
Yeah,
so
Those two things are not
so it's
connected.
like, um,
the rage just made Saint Agron to the Knicks. Is Agron? Oh yeah, Agron went to
right,
the
right, right,
Knicks.
right, right.
Yeah, and then after he got all the Knicks, then we were sent to sent to wherever we are sent to
Helheim.
Helheim. Yeah, so to our characters, we just saw Agron drop down out of nowhere. Then suddenly we're in Helheim.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
So basically, you know how we all had like our like hell story?
Yep.
Aglaron's hell story just included us killing your mother. So
No,
yeah.
like I said, those two.
Kill your mother.
Stop. The the rage thing is not connected to Helheim. You guys were all dragged to Helheim at once,
Yeah.
separate from any other event.
There's a part just that as a favor to Shava, more so
And
than
she
anything
was
else.
just like, "Hey, so you're here now. We're gonna fight because I can't let you just go on about your business." That was kind of the deal.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe his mom is actually dead.
Well, we
She's
saw
not
her
gonna
She's
soul.
dead.
stay. She's not gonna stay dead. She's not. You can't convince me that she is.
I mean, I'm not gonna let her. So
Yeah, but that depends on if Zipar uses her soul or just keeps it. If Zipara uses her soul or turns her to some sort of powerful magic item,
He might.
well,
Well, anyway,
Yeah, we're gonna. That's for another day, I guess.
yeah.
yeah, another session where I write that down.
Jeez.
Oh no.
But yeah, you guys are at the through Artemis bringing Shafir's soul um to Asgard, and you guys having all this mess. You guys are back at the banks of Lake Lugia.
Isn't that where we saw that other lake lady, the lady of the lake?
yep.
Um,
Or
and
no, is that where we saw those big huge turtle people that we kind of screwed over?
both.
That's the same lake.
Both.
So so
Hi.
Ramirez is gonna call the group over now, and Ramirez is gonna check and ask Anan is he mentally stable enough to come out.
You receive silence in return.
All right, that Ramirez just disappears away from the room, and that Ramirez just disappears away from the disappears away from the room, um and everybody else is called in.
I don't think we should stay here long.
Yeah, but the thing is, so Ramirez looks up to Tessa, Mei Shi, Grim, Brim, not Grim, Brim, Ecstasy, and Gilmary, and because if Gilmary comes over, because I guess it's up to them to come over. Ramirez crosses his arms, look, and says, "We need to go fight Kyutha. However, Anan is not in any state to go to for this at all.
Yeah, but like that's not going to change in a day. But we need to get this stuff done.
And we need to get it done. We need to get it done. However, Anan's health takes priority over anything. Over Anna's health takes priority for at least for me.
Indeed. We can't leave our friend behind in this hurt state.
And Anan has not been very responsive. I've been trying to reach Anan for I'm trying to reach Anan. I've been attempting to Anan for well, actually, out of character, Anan's at least been eating, right?
No.
No, not even eating. Okay, so
No.
Constitution saving throw.
Roger.
Can I roll dexterity to
Oh wait, no, you
punch
guys don't need to
food
eat.
down
That's
his
right.
well, you say we don't need to eat, but
But
we still may incur penalties for not eating.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. I remember I said that. Constitution saving throw.
say, can I roll to punch food down his throat?
No, you're not entering the room, Meishi.
We all have to make one. Oh, what's going on?
No.
No, just Nick.
no, me.
Just,
Because I haven't been
No,
eating.
just Nakima here.
yeah. Romanus looks up to Tessa and says, he's not eaten a single one of the foods, and I've personally tried. I personally work with Remy with Remy to make the foods as good as possible. just won't eat them.
Well, you know he doesn't eat anyway. He
He
rarely.
he's never turned down my cooking before.
He does need to eat.
Yeah, yeah, he's never turned down my cooking before. Is the thing. I'll keep trying to talk to him.
I will.
Bram speaks up. Is it all right if I try?
Very well.
Sure.
Go ahead. Go ahead. And
Was there
and
anything else you want to say during this meeting?
um Ruminus will close it so that Bram could go off and because that Kyuta and Anna were pretty much the three big things that Ruminus wants to say. Um, that's it. That's it.
In that case, a few minutes after you send Bram to do his thing, you hear a loud bell, like a and Redbeard recognizes that as like uh, a ship's bell, and asks you to like go and check it out.
Right. All right. Ruminus goes up to top of the ship and goes see what's happening.
All right, Anon, um, you get a knock at your door.
That's probably.
He doesn't answer it. He barely even stirs.
All right, time to roll me some good old fashioned dice on
Actually,
my phone.
if the Echo Sea Brim is about to break open the door, Ruminus will just open it because his echoes have full reign of the ship.
That's cool. He rolled high enough stealth to like slip in without anyone noticing. It's just like 1 minute you're looking by, the next minute vision slip through the walls again.
Oh.
Like, wait, what?
Huh? Ruminus is confused about this because through his Echo's eye, because he can see everything through all of his Echo's eyes. So it's like, I swear, Bram was right in front of me.
It's not like um what's your passive perception?
A a 21.
I think Ram passes that by a mile. Jesus. It's a 28 on his stealth check. But anyway, so Bram is just stands there for a minute, looks around, grabs a chair, and just sits there. Uh, Anon, you start hearing skittering sounds, sort of like make that a 6, so 17. So you don't have a point of exhaustion done. You pass your saving throw. But anyway, you start hearing like the chittering of an insect or a spider in your room, Anon.
How big of an insect? Well, big enough to be heard, so I guess that's
Big enough
important.
to be heard on the scale of a dog panting.
Alright.
Do you do?
What does Anon do here? I guess he immediately pulls out a dagger and like jumps up into like defensive mode.
Brim doesn't do it. Does not flinch. He is just sitting there on a stool that was somewhere in this room, and beside him is a shadowy, a all black spider standing next to him.
Gotcha. So Anon sees what's or like gets a grip of the situation, realizes it's just Brim, and like as he is returned to awareness, he's kind of thrown back into the moment again, and he tries to fight it, but he starts to just break down again for God knows how many times this week, or however long it's been since it happened, and yeah, that's where he's at now. He's just sobbing.
I will say that whenever Anna saw previously, I guess a small Echo Ramirez would or Ramirez himself would be at least be there to comfort him somewhat. At least try to comfort him.
Yeah. And with that, Brim kind of says, "Now that I have your attention," the spider crawls into a shadow behind Brim as if it was climbing down a wall, squeezes through his shadow, and just slinks back in.
Creepy. Just creepy.
Well, you do realize that your friends are worried about you.
He doesn't say anything, but Bryn knows he's listening.
You know I'm terrible at this stuff, especially when you're in this position. But if there's anyone on this ship who you can talk to, at least let it be me. You know, the guy who's probably been in a similar situation that you have been. And don't say I don't know what it's like. You know better than that.
I wouldn't have said that.
A fair point. That's my bad.
I know you know what this is like, so knowing what this feels like, what is there to say?
I mean, you're right. The only problem is there are some details that I don't know. Some things that are keeping you from moving forward. And again, I get it. But it's hard to just sulk when you're told you got something to do. And there's a lot you still have to do. And this is not going to cut it. So, something's got to be done. And this isn't it. You know, I don't remember when I woke up after death, when I found my when I found her dead. I don't remember the time between then and around the time I started getting my personality back. I remember certain pains on my back and arms. I remember fighting certain orders and then being brutally punished for them. But the details are foggy. Maybe 50 years of that. So far be it from me to tell you how you get out of this. move on to Anon when he unmutes himself.
Sorry, I forgot. And on finally, after realizing he's still holding the dagger, puts it away, and he just kind of slumps back and he says, "I just hurt and hate. That's all I feel. That's all I think. It's all there is. I heard Romelius come at least once since everything. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know what day it is. I don't know where we are. I don't know who's alive or dead outside this room. I just see her eyes and her soul in the hands of Sapar, and I hurt and I hate, and I don't know what to do with that.
You know, I was talking to the other two gods on the ship. Uh, Side note: Artemis left to send Shafir's soul to Asgard, so you don't have to worry about that. But I was asking them something. Artemis is a goddess of hunting. Glimleri is a goddess of war. And I was curious on how they got those titles. Glimeri, at least, said that she got it because that was the door she went through when she went through the trials. Artemis just said that was something she liked doing. She always loved hunting. Um, she's a different case. She was born a goddess, so the rules are different. But one thing I've always, one thing I took away from both of them was that they manifested those ideologies through what they wanted, what they strived to become. When you went for your door, what was that like?
It was some odd mixture of cathartic and demoralizing. It made me confront everything that I fought so hard to distance myself from. It reminded me who I want to be and who I am, or who I was, rather, aren't disparate. It reminded me that everything that is here, everything that I am now, is a result of those things. But it wasn't a bad thing. It didn't feel like a failure. It felt, it skewed my perspective. And I made a decision that I didn't think I would. And later I felt that I'd made the wrong one, but in that moment, I don't think I did what I would do here in the real world. I think I just allowed myself to be. I really sat down with what it is and who it is that I am, and without trying to put it in some sort of light or upgrade it in any way, I just reckoned.
I haven't seen you in all of your you, but I've noticed you're taking a path similar to mine. It's weird, but I think that's why you and I get along so well. We're both tragic people in a way. I guess the difference being is that I took my tragedy went to an extreme to the point where subconsciously I guess I got tired of it and ended up the way I am now. You you're still very early in this tragedy. And the way the other gods explained it, it kind of makes me think that you're becoming a god that I don't think you ever wanted to be, but you always were. A god of hatred and pain, like you said. Yeah. I mean, I get it. This recent doesn't define you, but I've seen you before. I've watched you. You have this wrath in you that is pure anger to the world and how it operates. I don't blame you. Just something I noticed. I think that's a righteous anger, but it's mixed in with the negative, pure anger in this world. I've noticed that for what I could remember, I did a lot of killing, a lot of things I don't know if I would ever done in this current mindset, or the mindset before she died. But it was done, and I became a weapon of great renown. Not in a good way. There was never going to be anything that anyone would say to make you feel better, especially this early on in your grief. But I think with you being a god and all, if you push yourself any further in this, you might become a god that you didn't want to be. I don't know. I really don't know how all this works. The way they talk about it, it sounds like there's this self-actualization going on. And I wouldn't say I'm scared. Just I know that makes your friends worried. The kind of god you become. And if this is the step in the right, if this is a step towards that god they fear, and I wonder what kind of god do you want to become?
And with that, Anon, for the first time, kind of looks at uh, Brim, and that he actually looks him in the eyes, and he's confused, but not because of anything that was confusing. He fully understands what he said, but it's like he remembered something he had always known. And then he remembers, yes, he is a god. And he can't afford to take anything lightly.
I don't know. I don't know. Something in me just was telling you to. I just had to say that. Get it off my chest. And this might sound crazy. I don't even know why I have to say this, but I feel like I have to. You might want to get some rest. Which is weird because you guys don't sleep, last I checked. How nice that must be. I mean, I don't sleep either. I feel like it would be different.
Hang on one second.
Hmm. Okay. Moving on to Romilius and Tessa, to whom I'm going to put together as they go to the deck of the ship. You guys find on the waters the ship of the Conquest floating in the water with two other ships, smaller in size. Uh, one is actually floating in the air, and the other one looks less like a sailing ship and more like a submarine with a deck. Think helicarrier or something.
All right.
Hmm.
For
So we're
minutes, for minutes.
taking the conquest, or are we taking the other ship?
No, they're just coming here. They're just coming to us. They're not taking any ships. They're on our ship. Um. Reminis Crossosarn says, God, I'm diving into Sven. So you are here to fight. So you are here. Is this your fleet? Reminis
He,
calls out.
he teleports to your ship. I couldn't hear you over there. What?
Is this your fleet?
Well, it's the one I took with me.
All right. Well, we were just thinking of summoning you to us. Um, the war is going to be quite soon.
Won't that be something?
Yes,
So,
I hope you're well off enough to fight gods. Reminis looks out to to the other two gods, or to just the Gilmeri, isn't it? It says, uh, I don't suppose you will be fighting with us.
Looking at who?
Gil Gilmari. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm a
It said,
god.
I don't. I'll say it again.
She basically replies, I'm a goddess of war. Half of the reason why I join you is because of that very prospect that you might be running into war.
Uh, so so are you on our side? So you are on our side then?
The people you're fighting were never once my allies. I have nothing. I have no allegiance to them.
Very well. Uh, that'll make it much. That'll make it much better that we. That'll make it much better that we at least have you to help us. Um, and then along with the conquest and this ship, first foremost, we still go through with talking. Ho- however, that will also give up an advantage that we could just go up and attack them. However, we do not want to get civilian casualties. That is something we do not want.
I think we've had way too many conversations with these people. We've had plenty of conversations with them.
We at least need to conversate them. We at least need to talk to them to make sure that we can to make sure the safety of any civilians in the area. They could if they take the city under hostage, or if our fighting would endanger civilians, would we really want to fight through that?
Fight's imminent at this point. All we can do is work towards the least amount of casualties and evacuate anywhere that needs to be evacuated.
That's the issue. If we try to evacuate, it might gain their attention.
Basically, the conquest says the city is not under your power to evacuate. Once you attack everything there, civilians and enemies alike.
Exactly. So that's why we have to go. That's why we have to go there to talk first. And when we speak, and when we speak,
Well, apparently, us just existing is enough to be triggering to these people, so.
well, to be fair, we did kill one of them. Uh, to be fair, we did kill one of them.
Glimir, Glimiri speaks up and says, did you guys tell anyone did you guys tell her exactly who these guys are you're fighting?
Uh,
Or actually, no, I got it. Let me ask, so we're fighting, wait, are we fighting easier gods?
they're. I assume they're less powerful. We do not know. We don't know the upper limits of the power. However,
No,
they
no,
are.
no, 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 no. Wait, Nick. No, what I was asking wasn't their power level. She's asking about like, are they from Asgard?
Oh no, okay. We're not fighting Asgardian gods. No.
Then she brings up. Then she brings up this. If they're not from Asgard, then I doubt they would have the same disposition about you as the Asgardians would. They may
Unless
have
they're.
history with you, but it won't be of the same. It won't be for the same reasons.
Do you, in your experience, do you think we would at least be able to convince them if they are dead set on fighting? Do you think we would at least be able to convince them to fight elsewhere away from civilians?
I guess that depends on what kind of gods they are. Every person, just like a person, they're everyone's different.
I do not think they will because they did not care about attacking civilians previously.
The conquest basically says, I still don't think it would hurt that much. If nothing else, I can be the envoy of your messages.
All right. Um, very well then. We should go ahead and speak. Uh, yes, you could be our envoy messages. If uh, hmm. So in that case, what do we want to convey? Uh, we want to convey that. We want to convey that. Uh, first off, first off, we want to convey that we want to try to meet up for a peaceful solution to this. For we want to meet up for at least some sort of peace talk. We we can assure that it would not be a hostile meeting and no fights will occur in this meeting. However, they did set up fighting. What could we possibly give them to what could we possibly give them to suggest that we take the like that we what could we possibly give them to suggest that we to to convince them to fight away from civilians? What do we have that they might want?
Mm. Fortunately, unfortunately, I have no, I don't have enough information about these people to even begin to figure out a solution.
Romanesque looks out to Gilmeri and it says could a god perhaps could a god perhaps wager their own godhood uh in a deal with another god?
It's not it's not a favorable one, but nowhere does it say you can't.
Farewell, then I'll just wager my godhood. What's that?
It's a fair. Hmm. I'm not going to say that's an entirely terrible plan. So be careful. I don't know how much easier it would be to regain your godhood, if you can at all.
If uh Godhood was nice. Godhood was nice at all. However, was Godhood is nice and all. However, however, I ultimately do not care too much for it. As long as I can continue assisting my friends here,
All right,
and I know for a fact that even if I'm not a god, I can still at least be somewhat useful, right?
I guess so.
Just hmm. So yeah, I could wager that to them.
All right, so we have a token of peace and also something to help with the war efforts. So far, so good.
Yes. So if it's if hmm. What would the wager be on? What should the wager be on then? Should it be if they come to get the godhood, or should it be if or should there be some sort of challenge issued?
If there must be a fight, I personally believe that it should be a one on one or something similar, where one of the opposing gods will pick a champion and you or a group of you will fight that champion. That would avoid an all out war, and whoever side wins gets the prize of whatever the prize is.
Very well. Ah, actually, Now think about it. If I lose my godhead and then they outright kill me, I won't come back. Risk gives a bit of a chuckle. Uh,
Worst thing, there are worse things in life, my friend. But when in, when on the east side,
There's no reason you should give up your godhood.
no. It's a fair wager. It's the only wager that we could give to assure that civilians are not casualties. And it's fair to Shapir. Shapir would easily give up her life to save her people. And so therefore I'll give up something that's probably worth more than just a life because it's gotta come back. But if I give up my godhead, then I give up all of our chances of coming back. Then simple as that. I know Godhead matters more to each of you than it does to me anyway.
I kind of like you can see me like tense and like get like my eyes get like serious, and it's like I don't want to see something else happen to you.
Do not worry. Don't worry. It's hard to get rid of me. Do you see how many past lives I have? Look how many of me are running around. Oh,
Anon
look,
steps out onto the deck.
Oh, hi.
look who decided to show up.
You're not giving up your godhead.
I'll say it again, Nick.
He looks directly at Romelius with a pointed look. He says, "You are not giving up your godhead."
I didn't catch the last bit. That
Here, you're not giving up your godhood. You're
not
you're
giving.
not you're not giving up your godhood.
At least let me wager it because
No.
that is the only way that's the only thing I can think of that would convince them to save civilians.
What were your other options?
Uh,
We pay them.
the other options were first try peace talk. First try peace talk. If that
Okay.
if that if the, or all out war. If we do all out war, civilians will die. Civilians will be caught in crossfire.
Yeah, we're
We
not
need to
doing
make
that.
more bombs.
I mean, we could pay them. It wouldn't really work out well. Don't know what they'd
Although,
want.
although Meshi, this is beyond bombs. Meshi,
Yes.
please for once think beyond bombs.
Hmm?
Why are
All
we
right.
not
All right.
doing? Why are we not doing it? Peace talk.
Oh, peace talk is what we're doing first. The wager said peace talk does not go through.
All I'm saying is we've tried to talk to. We've had many conversations with these people. We have to let the peace talk cease at this point.
Oh, we're still gonna try. At least
Peace will
try.
always be our first option.
It is. It is the best option.
I said first option.
And if peace talks fall through, then then I'll wage my godhead over a champion's belt.
No,
Why not?
I feel like there's a better option. We have Scully's entire fleet here, correct?
didn't I tell you not to call me that? And yes, most of it.
You told Agarol not to call you that. I've never called you that until now.
Oh, you are going to make a good politician.
Isn't he? I think so.
But yes, this is what these are the ships that I brought with me to this side of the world.
Are they enough ships to get all of the civilians in the clear?
If I understand the size of Kuyufa, possibly. If nothing else, I can work up some magic to expand the interior.
So that it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, something
So
like
we
that.
so we cross the
Do you
storm. So
have
let's
enough
talk to Anon.
crew? Do you have enough crew to facilitate their escape?
Well, I don't think that's a matter of a crew. What do you mean by that exactly?
What I mean is, we go in for our talks. And while we're having this talk, you and the crew of your ships, if you require any sort of
Ah, gotcha. Um, well, like I said, what I was going to say was I don't think that's a matter of number of crews. If we're dealing with gods, I'm gonna have to be very careful on my ability to teleport from one place to another, considering they probably have, how do I say, precautions to those types of fooleries. You better have some very good distractions in that conversation. You got to make sure all the chief gods, or at least have your attention on them, on you.
that we can certainly do.
Yep.
All right,
Considering our past history, I imagine we'll have them distracted enough.
We
oh,
get their attention accidentally all the time.
accidentally, purposefully. In the end, as long as you did it, I don't care how. But I can get my, but I can get it done. Scour the city as stealthily as I can and grab all the innocent bystanders as I can possibly get my skeletal fingers on.
How long do you think
If
it'll take you?
Depends on the size of the city and how well I can move through it. But
How big is the city, by the way? So that Ramirez can give them probably a guesstimate.
it's about it's a pretty small place, all things considered.
Like the size of like Columbia, the size of Greenwood, the size of a school.
Sure, Greenwood.
Okay.
Is it the size of an ecumenopolis?
Don't start.
no,
A city that's okay.
Um, so Ramirez will convey roughly the size of it, from what he understands at least.
All right,
Um, I don't know what terms he used to describe it, but just imagine like some vague like village terms that he can use to describe it. Um,
that's fine.
it's roughly the size of like three. It's roughly the size of three homesteads, whatever.
Three homesteads.
There's, I think homestead was hamlets. Around the size of three hamlets.
Think of 3 stoplights. That's what it is.
oh my,
All
Um,
right,
but
Miss.
just think of some random term.
tree.
Ruminates would describe it that way.
All right,
Um,
just
do
remember, I'm
List
not
X
promising.
number of provinces of interest.
Yeah,
Really?
but just what he says is remember, I'm not promising you miracles.
That's fine. If you are discovered, try to dispatch your discoverer as quietly as possible. If we fail to maintain their attention, we will try to keep the fighting contained within the building or push them north if possible.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Hmm. You see Anon, he pulls out the sword and the dress and even the veil, which is still in veil form at this point, and he's
Let's
holding
go.
on to them all.
should 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 would my ship be of use? Ruminates asks the conquest. I can pilot it without being on it.
Your ship will definitely be worth having. Nothing else.
Very well. Uh,
Vermilius, is
just
there any way you can hand over command to him?
uh, no. Let's connect to the orb, which contains each of my souls. However, however, hmm,
Let's Let's go fight
Is
somewhere empty.
is there uh what'd you say? What'd you say, Val?
I said, let's go fight somewhere empty.
Oh, Marissa so true. Tesla said, "Well, that's what the wager is for.
Yeah.
we well, that's what the wager is for. However, if we're going this route, then we're trying to do peace talks.
Mhm.
Uh,
And if the peace talks fail, we're trying to push them north, outside of the city. Even outside of Kyiv, there's still a stretch of desert before you reach the base of the mountains.
Yeah.
true. Uh, and we're just trying to think if there is any way for
Okay,
them to communicate, and then
I know. I'm sure.
Romilus
I'll get it myself.
Mm.
Good night.
Hello, Mishi.
Do not worry. Ah.
uh,
Hey, hey everyone.
So what are you saying, Chris?
uh, Romilus well, Ramirez was gonna come up with the idea, cause was gonna use an idea, but then it realizes that is not the smartest idea, right? Not realize that's not the smartest idea. So then thinks uh their messaging ability. Ramirez looks
Yeah.
over to and Tessa says one of you could stay behind a ship. One of you could stay behind on the ship, and then communicate via your weird head magic thing because actually all this time I don't think anybody has ever explained how message works to Ramirez. So Ramirez tries to as, "Oh, you one of you can stay on the ship and use your weird head talk thingy,
Jedi mind tricks.
your mind tricks."
Unfortunately, that's a bit too far for us to um speak like that.
Well, just stay. Well, I'll just keep the ship. I'll just keep the ship close, and then I'll just keep the ship close until time comes for a command. Ramirez looks over looks over to Conquest and says, would that be would you be able to would you be able to work with that?
Just know that everything that you guys need, I will definitely have at my disposal.
Oh wait, I forgot you could just teleport on the ship. Teleport to the ship.
For the most part, yeah.
Also, we don't even need the message. You could just teleport the ship and and just speak directly to Redbeard.
Possibly.
Right.
One more thing, Conquest. If you decide to use the ship for any, really for any reason, our ship, that is, try not to use it to evacuate the people, at least not until you have exhausted your space on the other ships. I want to hold it as sort of a last resort.
Fair enough.
And no, Romelius, in case you're wondering, I don't mean fleeing.
I understand. I realize that my ship's gonna be used. So I won't have my echoes to fight with if a fight does break out. Hmm. Oh well.
Once
River shrugs.
we get
I fought without them
everything,
before.
you may be able to use them at some point during the fight, if it comes to a fight, and depending on how the fight goes.
Not.
But it wouldn't be for long.
Yeah. All
It
right.
just, I think
Guess
we should just avoid fighting altogether.
I also agree. But if we can't, we need to have the contingencies. So, Remelius, here's what I'm thinking. If we try to talk and for some reason it fails, if we go on to try to fight them, and it fails. Whether we are able to push them out of the city or not, if it gets to the point where it would be nigh impossible to defeat them, or if we're down to the last man or something of that sort, I want you to drop this ship onto our enemies.
Dude, I was just thinking that.
So to the conquest. How much damage would dropping a ship into a god into a person do?
He kicks the metal on the ship, giving it a tap two like clanging noises. I say this would hurt.
Nice.
Right. Oh crap. Wait. All right.
Drops the whole ship. Just like
All right. Redbeard, you got that?
A good captain always goes down with his ship, sir.
All right.
nice. Redbeard's growing on me.
Very well. This sounds like plan.
All right then. And with that, Anon is going to put on the veil, which is going to turn into his thorned crown. He's also going to throw the dress over his shoulder, and it will adorn him as essentially a long, like, trench coat.
Nice.
And on the back of it, there's like a very clear bone white symbol on the back of it, and it is just an image of scales,
Oh,
not like scales on a body, but like scales that hold weight. You
nice.
know? And lastly, the sword becomes a bone white staff.
Cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
I use my I use right. I use speak and I ask him, "Are you okay to go do this now?"
I answer back, I'll do what I have to do.
We can come back later if we have to.
These people have waited long enough.
There's like a pause.
All
I'm
right
here
then.
too, if you need.
I thank you.
We all are.
You heard that?
Wait, heard. Oh wait, oh, just message. Oh, she said speak, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, no, I didn't want to correct her because it was like, she said the wrong thing. No, we'll give her this moment.
okay, okay. I didn't know you were using message. It just dawned on me that you were. Sorry,
One more
man.
thing,
Okay.
Romelius, before we go. I could really use something to eat.
Oh.
Remy was already working on that as soon as I saw you.
Hmm.
Thank
So,
you.
I have one last thing as a DM. Anon, will you take Brim's advice and rest?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Well, after you eat, Romelius, roll cooking check with advantage.
Yeah.
Since you've established you were preparing yourself for this moment. I swear if it's a nat 20.
Please be not true. Oh, close. 29 though.
Oh, 29 ain't bad. eating some of the best Romelius food you've had in,
I
well,
freaking had.
what feels like an eternity. You take on Brim's advice, put your crown and trench coat on the stand, and go to your bed and lay down. You can't remember the last time you had a good sleep, and you know that gods don't need to sleep, but you close your eyes anyway, and um, you at least let your mind drift for a bit. A couple of minutes pass, and um, you feel like no time has really moved on. But while your eyes are closed, you start sniffing and you smell smoke.
Oh no. Oh wait, yeah, I'm gonna rouse to it.
You rouse to it, and as you begin to shift, you feel like you're lying on grass. Uh, as you become more perceptive of the world around you, you start hearing screamings, the sound of cracking and lightning being shot down from the sky. As you wake up and raise yourself, you realize that you're in the middle of a burning village as people are running away. People are getting vaporized by lightning, hitting them dead on in their backs. When you look up to the sky, you see a young version of you shooting down lightning bolts around everyone around them in a violent rage. Some people even beg for their lives before they are met with an untimely demise.
I'm gonna rush up to him, or like not all the way up to him, but to a distance where he can hear me comfortably, and I'm gonna shout at him like, "Stop!"
He turns to you. This rage-filled look, this pain-stricken face that you know all too well. Even if you've never seen it before, you know this look. And they raise up a lightning bolt, and before they throw it, uh, you just it the lightning bolt shoots past your head and hits someone else behind you. And as you're trying to like desperately try to figure out how you're going to stop this madman, you hear a voice in your mind, clear as day. He can't hear you.
How do I reach him?
You watch as this lady walks by you. To be fair, she like waves her hand around, and the scenery stops. Sound freezes, and the only thing that's there is the presence of you and her, and a frozen picture. It's why I brought. It's the reason why I'm bringing you here.
Who are you?
You look at this person, and you feel like you've seen this person before. Roll history check.
50.
Though not quite clear in your head, you do remember the look of this person. A woman um with a dark with uh with a dress like the night sky and the and dark sky hair or um this this woman is the same one who cried at the end of your vision when you went on the murder spree. The same scenery. This is the same woman who told you you passed your trial.
I
I know
really.
you've been through a lot, and I'm sorry to bring you here. It's the only way I could connect to you. She snaps her fingers, and the scenery melts away like uh, uh, oil, like an oil painting left in the rain. and you are now standing on a white cobblestone pillar, sizable for both of you. And surrounding you is a literal night sky. Though it's not just the sky itself, but everywhere around you looks like a starry scenery, with only a few trees and other greenery spread out on the platform that you're on. I'm glad my message got to you. I was half
You,
afraid you wouldn't take up the advice, but here you are, she says, smiling.
you, how did you?
A bit of a bit of primordial intervention and a little faith in you. The only time I've actually talked to someone else was, well, you know them, Agron. So that was an accident. And I figured if it could happen once, who says I can't do it myself?
You wait. You when?
What do you mean?
You spoke to Akron?
Yeah, I don't know how to describe time. It's not my field of expertise. All I know is that it happened.
Anyways, that's not important. Important now. Okay. Where are we? What is? Never mind. It doesn't matter. What did you have something for me?
I wouldn't bring you here if I didn't. But first things first. And she like goes to you and hugs you with a warm and gentle hug. She hugs you for a bit.
It feels nice, but I'm not gonna hug it back because I don't really know.
She like stops hugging you, holds you by your shoulders. I know you needed that. Takes her hands off your shoulders. No, the other reason. She sits down on a chair that wasn't there before, and a table is now separating you two.
Yeah, he sits.
You sit down. You don't know where a chair came from, but you're now sitting on a chair separated by a round table. Let me answer those questions that aren't important real quick. My name is Nyx. This is my domain. The stars that you see, those are sparks that exist for every god and every existence in this world. I know every last one of them, every god that passed me by. I remember your vision.
Right. You were there. I'm sorry you had to see that.
I would say I've seen worse, but I don't know if that's a fair thing to say. Point is, I don't get flustered that easily with things. They don't drive me down. Comes with being a primordial.
So you are primordial.
It's a bit more complicated than that. It's just a word I think you would understand to comprehend what I am.
I was going to say you definitely don't seem like the ones I've met.
You'll learn, I hope. But that's not what we're here for. Whenever someone taking on the trials to become a god passed me by, the trial that I present them is that I give them choices on what they resonate with. And then once they pass through the doors, I look through their mind and I create a constructed world that they live through. And I see how they react to it all. The trial is not meant for a pass or failure, it's to get an understanding from you. I got it. Where was I?
Explaining the trial, not pass or fail.
It's not about passing or failing. It's a matter of getting an understanding of what kind of person you are in the situation you're in based on which door you've taken. It leads to a bunch of other things, but that's not my field of expertise. It's just a question of who you want to be. And what I saw was a very angry godling, one that shot down retribution on those that have committed transgression against him. And now, wondering if you are the same godling that I saw, but all those moments ago.
That was. I never wanted to be that person, but that is who I became. I was so fixated on all the seeming injustices of the world that I lived in, even after that point that you faced with, that in priding myself on trying to fix said injustices, I didn't realize that I still hadn't given myself the time to process personally my own pain. I was trying to fix everyone else's problems without addressing my own. Or, I guess I should say, fix what I perceive to be everyone else's problems. Anyways, it's still not who I want to be. Seems like every corner I turn is just forcing me to face more of the same. But your message there, it helped me remember something that I really needed.
Don't misunderstand. My message wasn't what your friend told you. I just wanted you to get here. You should be thanking him.
Well, then, his message helped me change my perspective. Well, maybe not, but he pulled me out of, started to pull me out of a hole. I mean,
I've seen a lot of godlings, so I'm a lot more understanding of empathy than I think I would have if I didn't take on this responsibility. So I know that what you went through is not something that will be fixed overnight, and I don't think it should. I didn't come here to try and change you. I I know what you guys are and what potentials you have. Ragnarok does not affect me in any way, but I've noticed that you're different than most of the godlings I've run into. Your reach has grown so far as it's gotten my attention. I've heard a lot of things. How Ragnarok can't be changed and all that. And I understand where they're coming. But it might be possible, if ever so slightly, that you might be able to do what was impossible. And that makes me feel very proud. But at the same time, you have to understand, why do you think they believe it to be such an impossibility, even as gods? Do you know?
well, I can't imagine it was arbitrary. I imagine someone had to have tried many times. I know for a fact that many different versions of this world have existed, and it came to failure in each instance, or at least the ones that she saw. But no, I don't suppose I know exactly why everyone deems it so impossible.
It's because it's so unpredictable. What your mother failed to tell you is not just that it's always happened, it's always happened differently. Now, for everyone other than her, the reason why they view it as such an impossibility has something to do with the weight of how it all comes about. I think the gods of Asgard did their best to try and stop it. It's not like they didn't try. When it comes down to it, it's hard to believe that someone so experienced as you has the potential to stop something that even they can't completely understand. And they have been at it for a lot longer than you. But I believe in some reality where you were born and your friends met you. You meet your mother. Agron meets Fenrir. all the pieces fall into place. Maybe there was a reality where you do stop Ragnarok. But I don't know about any of them. I don't know where that book is.
Me either. At this point, I don't think it's this one. I still don't think it's impossible, but with everything that's happened, there'd be a lot to overlook on both sides to stop the war.
If nothing else, you guys are becoming very influential in this world. I'm very curious to see what you become. But that's really it. I just wanted to check up on you, to reevaluate the last time we saw each other, that test and all. I wanted to see how you would have rewritten that story, what kind of god you want to become. Personally, anyway.
It's not retribution I want anymore. Well, I won't say I don't want it. That would be dishonest. But I don't want to see it brought forth, as much as I may secretly hide it in my heart. No matter what someone has done, they deserve a chance at a peaceful resolution, a workable exchange. I want peace and justice more than I want any personal vindication, no matter how heinous someone's action may be against me or someone I care about.
You've definitely grown a lot since last I saw you. This will be this may be the last time I get to talk to you face to face like this. I just hope this isn't the last time I get to do this with anyone else. I like talking to godlings.
Well, you opened your door. Is there really no opening it from the other side?
I highly doubt that. You've surprised me a lot, but that would be something even solving, even completely eradicating Ragnarok would not make me think you could come to me.
Well, everyone thought one thing was impossible.
Hmm.
And I've got the rest of eternity to try and figure out this other challenge.
At you though. Wow. I'll be waiting for that day. And I'm going to end that here. Comments, complaints, or concerns, questions are also in order.
I must admit, I wasn't really following it at some points.
Of course.
and I felt a bit sidelined there in some parts.
I'm sorry about
I
that.
really couldn't just think
None
of
of us
how.
really did much. This is a planning session, so we have a lot to get done.
Also,
Oh,
two
okay.
sessions in a row, there was a lot of heavy moments.
Yeah, we
Well, my purpose,
And